A massive four-story apartment building engulfed in flames, smoke billowing into the night sky. Firefighters running, shouting, water cannons blasting, sirens wailing, chaos everywhere. And through it all, a golden retriever keeps running back into the burning building. Firefighters tackled him. Bystanders tried to grab him. His own owner screamed and begged him to stop. But this dog ran back into those flames 6 times. 6 times into an inferno that was collapsing around him. His fur was singed. His paws were burned. He was choking on smoke. What he was protecting wasn't just impossible to believe. It revealed a secret that had been hidden for 15 years. A secret that would reunite a shattered family and prove that some bonds can survive anything, even death itself. This is a story about loyalty beyond reason, love beyond death, and a hero who wore a collar instead of a uniform. By the end, you'll understand why this dog's actions made grown firefighters fall to their knees and cry. Stay until the very end. The final revelation will absolutely wreck you. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. This channel brings you real-life stories that prove miracles happen every single day. Drop a comment and tell us, would you risk everything for someone you love? Now let's go back to where this incredible story really begins. August 23rd, 11:47 p.m. Detroit, Michigan. Captain Marcus Chen was exactly 3 hours away from the end of his shift when the call came through. Engine 42, Ladder 19, Battalion Chief 3. Structure fire. 2847 Riverside Avenue. 4-story residential building. Multiple 911 calls reporting people trapped inside. Heavy smoke visible. Marcus had been with the Detroit Fire Department for 16 years. He was 41 years old, a decorated captain who'd seen hundreds of fires, pulled dozens of people from burning buildings, and lost count of how many lives he'd saved. But he'd also seen things that haunted him. The fires you couldn't stop, the people you couldn't save, the ones that got away. Tonight would add another ghost to his collection. Or so he thought. "All units responding," Marcus said into his radio, already pulling on his gear as the engine roared to life. Beside him in the station, watching with alert eyes, was Buddy. Buddy was a 5-year-old golden retriever, technically Marcus's personal dog, but beloved by everyone at Station 42. He wasn't a working fire dog. Those were rare and specifically trained. Buddy was just Buddy. A rescue dog Marcus had adopted 3 years ago after his divorce, his companion, his therapy, his best friend. "Stay here, boy," Marcus said, scratching Buddy behind the ears. "We'll be back." Buddy wagged his tail once, then lay down by Marcus's locker. He always waited there when Marcus went on calls. But tonight would be different. The scene was chaos when Engine 42 arrived. The 4-story apartment building was a towering inferno. Flames shot from windows on all 4 floors. Black smoke churned into the night sky, visible for miles. Residents were screaming from windows. Some had already jumped to escape the fire, sustaining serious injuries. "We've got multiple people trapped," Battalion Chief Rodriguez shouted over the roar of flames. "Floors 3 and 4 are fully involved. Ground floor and floor 2 are going fast. We need search and rescue teams inside now." Marcus's team moved with practiced efficiency. Breathing apparatus on. Hoses charged. Thermal imaging cameras ready. "Chen, take your team up the west stairwell. Davis, you take east. We need primary search on floors 1 and 2. Marcus and his team pushed into the building. The heat was tremendous, even through their protective gear. Visibility was near zero. The smoke was thick and toxic, filled with burning plastics, chemicals, and God knows what else. They found 6 residents on the first floor, disoriented and panicking. Got them out safely. Then they pushed to the second floor. That's where things went wrong. Marcus's team was searching a second-floor apartment when they heard it. That sound every firefighter dreads. A deep, groaning crack, the scream of stressed metal, the rumble of shifting concrete. "Structural collapse! Everybody out! Get out now!" They ran for the stairwell, but they weren't fast enough. A section of the third floor collapsed, sending debris crashing down. Marcus felt the floor shudder beneath him. He dove through a doorway just as a beam crashed down where he'd been standing. When the dust cleared, he was separated from his team. The stairwell was blocked. His radio was crackling with static, and the fire was getting closer. Marcus tried every door, every window, all blocked, all leading to dead ends or more fire. He was trapped. His air supply gauge showed 8 minutes remaining, maybe 10 if he stayed calm and controlled his breathing. But the smoke was getting thicker, the heat was becoming unbearable, and he could hear the building groaning, ready to come down at any moment. Marcus had trained for this, had drilled for exactly this scenario. But training and reality are very different things. He was going to die here. He thought about his ex-wife, his daughter Emily, who was 12 and lived with her mother in Chicago, his parents, his team, and Buddy, who was waiting at the station, wondering why Marcus hadn't come home. "I'm sorry, boy," Marcus whispered into the smoke. And then he heard it. Barking. At first, Marcus thought he was hallucinating. Smoke inhalation can do that, make you hear things, see things. But the barking got louder, closer, more insistent, and then, through the smoke, a shape appeared. Golden fur. Wagging tail, brown eyes reflecting his flashlight beam. "Buddy?" Marcus couldn't believe it. "What the hell are you doing here?" The golden retriever barked once, then grabbed Marcus's sleeve with his teeth and pulled. "Buddy, no, you can't be here. How did you—" But Buddy wouldn't let go. He pulled Marcus toward a door Marcus had already tried. It had been locked, jammed from the heat and pressure. But now, it was open. Buddy pulled Marcus through, down a hallway Marcus hadn't known existed, to a window that opened onto a fire escape Marcus hadn't seen from the outside. Fresh air hit Marcus's face. He ripped off his mask, coughing, gasping, alive. His team found him on the fire escape 60 seconds later. "Captain, thank God. We thought—" Rodriguez stopped. Is that Buddy?" The golden retriever was sitting next to Marcus, tail wagging, looking proud of himself. "I don't understand," Marcus said, still coughing. "He was at the station. How did he get here? How did he find me?" Nobody had an answer. But there was no time to figure it out. The building was still burning. People were still trapped. "We need to finish the evacuation," Rodriguez ordered. "Chen, you're done. Get checked by medics, take your dog and—" "Wait!" A resident was screaming from across the street. "There are still people inside! Unit 3B! A woman and her kids! They're on the 3rd floor!" The 3rd floor, where the partial collapse had happened, where the fire was now fully involved. "It's too dangerous," Rodriguez said. "We can't send anyone up there. The structural integrity is compromised." "But they're still alive! I heard them screaming 10 minutes ago!" Rodriguez's face was anguished. Every firefighter's nightmare, knowing people are dying and not being able to save them. And then Buddy did something that made everyone stop. He pulled away from Marcus and ran straight toward the burning building. "Buddy, no!" Marcus lunged for him, but the dog was too fast. Buddy ran into the smoke and flames like he'd been doing it his whole life. "Somebody stop that dog!" But it was too late. Buddy disappeared into the inferno. Marcus was held back by 2 firefighters as he screamed for his dog, struggling to break free. 30 seconds passed. A minute. The building was getting worse. Fire was now visible on all 4 floors. Command was considering defensive operations only. Let it burn. Just keep it from spreading to other buildings. And then Buddy emerged. He came running out of the smoke, his golden fur singed and blackened, coughing. But in his mouth, held gently despite the chaos, was a stuffed animal. A purple teddy bear. "What the—" Rodriguez took the teddy bear from Buddy's mouth, and then they heard it. A child crying, somewhere in the building. "She's alive!" the resident shouted. "That's Emma's teddy bear, my neighbor's daughter, Unit 3B. She never goes anywhere without it." Hope and horror mixed on everyone's faces. If Buddy had found the teddy bear, the family might still be alive. But how could they reach them? Before anyone could stop him, Buddy ran back into the building. "No! Buddy!" Marcus broke free from the firefighters holding him and ran after his dog, ignoring orders to stop, ignoring protocol, ignoring everything except the fact that Buddy was going to die in there. Marcus found Buddy on the 3rd floor, in what was left of a hallway. The dog was barking, pawing at a door. Unit 3B. Marcus tried the door, locked from the inside. "Fire department! Is anyone in there?" A weak voice answered. "Help! Please! My babies!" Marcus used his Halligan tool to force the door open. Inside, through the smoke, he saw them. A woman, maybe 30 years old, unconscious or nearly so, and huddled in a bathtub filled with water, an old firefighter's trick for protection, were 2 small children. A girl, about 6, a boy, maybe 4. Both were conscious but terrified. "It's okay," Marcus said, his voice calm despite the terror he felt. "I'm here to help. We're going to get you out." He radioed for backup, but the response was grim. The stairwells were both compromised. The window led to a 4-story drop with no aerial ladder in position. They were trapped, and the fire was getting closer. Marcus made a decision. He'd carry the kids out one at a time, going through the route Buddy had somehow found, then come back for the mother. But when he turned to grab the first child, Buddy was gone. The dog had run off again. "Buddy! Damn it, not now!" Marcus couldn't wait. He grabbed the little girl and started moving, following the path he remembered. But the building had changed. The fire had spread. The route was blocked. And then Buddy appeared again, barking, showing them a different way, saying, a way that shouldn't exist, but somehow did. They made it out. Marcus handed the girl to medics and immediately went back. 3 more times, Marcus went into that building. Once for the boy, once for the mother, once because Buddy kept barking and running back inside, and Marcus had to know why. And every single time, Buddy led the way. Through smoke and flames that should have killed them both. Through passages that seemed to appear and disappear. Through an impossible maze that somehow Buddy knew by heart. After the mother was safely out, after the building had been evacuated, after the fire was finally under control, Buddy ran back inside for the 6th time. "Buddy, no! Everyone's out! Come back!" But the dog wouldn't listen. Marcus, against every order, every protocol, every ounce of common sense, followed his dog one last time. He found Buddy on the 4th floor in what had been an apartment but was now just charred ruins. The dog was digging at debris, whimpering, desperate. "Buddy, what are you doing? There's nobody here. We checked this floor. Come on, boy, let's go home." But Buddy kept digging, so Marcus helped him. They moved charred wood, melted plastic, burned furniture, and underneath it all, Marcus found something that made his blood run cold. A metal box. Fireproof. Locked. Marcus used his tools to open it. Inside were documents, photos, letters, all preserved, protected, and on top of everything, a piece of paper with today's date, August 23rd, and an address. This address, 2847 Riverside Avenue, Unit 4C. The handwriting was familiar. Marcus's hands started shaking as he picked up one of the photos. It showed a young woman, maybe 25 years old, smiling at the camera. She was holding a golden retriever puppy. Marcus knew that woman. He'd know her face anywhere, even though it had been 15 years since he'd seen her. It was his sister Sarah, who had died 15 years ago today. August 23rd. In an apartment fire. In Detroit. At this exact address. Marcus collapsed, the photo clutched in his hands. Sarah had been his older sister, his protector, his hero. She'd raised him after their parents died in a car accident when Marcus was 12. She'd worked 3 jobs to keep them together, to keep them out of the foster system. She'd just been accepted to nursing school when the fire happened. Some kid in the building had been playing with matches. The fire spread fast. Sarah got trapped on the 4th floor. Marcus had been 17. He'd stood outside that building, watching it burn, screaming for his sister, held back by firefighters, just like he'd been held back tonight. They found her body 2 days later. And they found something else. A dog. A golden retriever that had belonged to Sarah. He'd died trying to protect her, his body found curled around hers. His name had been Buddy, the puppy in the photo. The dog Marcus had never met because Sarah had just adopted him a week before the fire. Marcus looked at his buddy, the dog he'd found at a shelter 3 years ago. The dog with no history, no chip, no background. The dog who'd just appeared one day, needing a home, and Marcus had felt an instant connection he couldn't explain. "It's not possible," Marcus whispered, but the evidence was right in front of him. His buddy looked exactly like Sarah's buddy. Same markings, same eyes, same gentle soul. And tonight, on the 15th anniversary of Sarah's death, this dog had somehow known, had somehow sensed, had somehow understood that Marcus needed to come back here, to this building, to finally find what his sister had left behind. With shaking hands, Marcus opened the letters in the box. They were addressed to him, written by Sarah, one for every year since her death. The first one, dated August 23rd, the year after she died, read, "Dear Marcus, if you're reading this, it means you found what I hid. I don't know if you'll ever find it, or if this building will even still be standing when you do. But I had to leave you something. Something to tell you that I'm okay, wherever I am, that I'm watching over you, that I'm proud of you. I know you wanted to be a firefighter like Dad. I know you feel guilty that you couldn't save me. But Marcus, you have to know, there was nothing you could have done. And I don't blame you. I never blamed you. I've set up a trust fund for you. Everything I saved for nursing school, I've put aside. When you turn 25, it's yours. Use it to achieve your dreams. Become the firefighter I know you'll be. Save the people I couldn't save. And Marcus, take care of Buddy. He's a good dog, the best. He'll take care of you when I can't. Love always, Sarah." Marcus couldn't see through his tears. There were 14 more letters, one for every year, each one telling him how proud she was, how much she loved him, how he needed to let go of his guilt and live his life. The last letter, dated this year, said, "Dear Marcus, by now, you should be a captain. You should have saved hundreds of lives. You should have become the hero I always knew you could be. I hope you found someone to love. I hope you have a family. I hope you're happy. But most of all, I hope you finally forgive yourself. The fire wasn't your fault. My death wasn't your fault. You were just a kid. And you've spent 15 years trying to save everyone to make up for not saving me. Marcus, you need to let me go. You need to understand that some things are beyond our control. But love is never lost. I'm with you always. In every fire you fight, in every life you save, in every moment you choose to be brave. And maybe, just maybe, If there's any justice in the universe, I'll find a way to save you one more time. All my love, Sarah. P.S. Take care of our buddy. I think he has one more rescue left in him. Marcus sat in the ruins of his sister's old apartment, holding 15 years' worth of letters, with a golden retriever who shouldn't exist sitting beside him. He understood now. 3 years ago, when he'd found Buddy at the shelter, it was exactly 12 years after Sarah's death. The same day. August 23rd. The shelter staff said Buddy had just shown up one day. No owner, no history. Just a gentle, older golden retriever who needed a home. Marcus had been going through a rough divorce. His daughter had moved away. He was drowning in guilt and loneliness. And Buddy had appeared, had chosen him, had saved him from his own darkness. Tonight, Buddy had led Marcus back to this building, on the exact anniversary of Sarah's death, to the exact apartment where she'd died, to find the messages she'd left, to finally let Marcus heal. And in the process, Buddy had saved 5 people, a woman and 2 children from Unit 3B, and Marcus himself twice. Just like Sarah had promised. One more rescue. "You came back for me," Marcus whispered to Buddy, scratching the dog behind his ears, just like he always did. "She sent you back, didn't she?" Buddy licked Marcus's face, his tail wagging gently. Outside, Battalion Chief Rodriguez found them. "Chen, what are you still doing up here? We need to—" "Are you okay? What's wrong?" Marcus showed him the letters, told him the story, about Sarah, about the original Buddy, about the impossible connection. Rodriguez, a hardened veteran of 30 years in the fire service, sat down beside Marcus and cried. "That dog saved 7 people tonight," Rodriguez said quietly. 8, if you count finding you that first time. 9, if you count bringing you here to find this. "He's a hero," Marcus said. "So is she. So are you." 2 weeks later, the Detroit Fire Department held a special commendation ceremony. Buddy received a medal for extraordinary bravery and for saving multiple lives. He was made an honorary fire dog, complete with his own tiny helmet and badge. The woman and children from Unit 3B were there. They'd recovered fully. Emma, the 6-year-old, gave Buddy her new purple teddy bear. "This one's for him," she said, "because he saved my old one, and he saved me." Marcus's ex-wife brought their daughter Emily from Chicago. Emily, now 12, met Buddy for the first time and fell in love instantly. "Dad, is it true?" Emily asked. "Is he really Aunt Sarah's dog?" Marcus had told her the story. His ex-wife thought he was crazy, thought the trauma had made him believe in impossibilities, but Emily believed. "I don't know, sweetie," Marcus said honestly. "I don't know if it's the same soul or a miracle or just an amazing coincidence, but what I do know is that Buddy saved my life. Multiple times, in multiple ways." That night, Marcus took Buddy to the cemetery where Sarah was buried. He placed flowers on her grave and read her letters out loud, finally able to say everything he'd never said. "Thank you," he whispered, "for everything. For raising me, for loving me, for never giving up on me, and for sending Buddy when I needed him most." Buddy sat beside the grave, calm and peaceful, as if he understood. And then he did something Marcus had never seen him do before. He placed his paw on Sarah's headstone and held it there for a long moment. And Marcus could have sworn he felt warmth radiating from that spot. Could have sworn he felt his sister's presence just for a heartbeat. And then Buddy turned away, tail wagging, ready to go home. His final mission was complete. Today, 3 years after that fire, Marcus Chen still serves as captain with Detroit Fire Department Engine 42. Buddy is now 8 years old, officially retired from his unofficial fire dog duties, spending his days at the station being spoiled by every firefighter who comes through. The trust fund Sarah left has been used to establish a scholarship for children who've lost parents to fires, helping them achieve their dreams the way Sarah helped Marcus achieve his. Marcus finally let go of his guilt, finally forgave himself, finally understood that some things are beyond our control, but love transcends everything. The letters Sarah wrote are framed in Marcus's home, a daily reminder that the people we love never really leave us. And on every August 23rd, Marcus and Buddy visit Sarah's grave, placing flowers and sitting in comfortable silence. Because some bonds are too strong for death to break. Some love is too powerful to ever fade. And some heroes come back, not because they have to, but because love demands it. This story reminds us that heroism wears many forms. Sometimes it wears a uniform. Sometimes it wears a collar. And sometimes it transcends time itself to save the people we love one more time. If this story moved you, please like and share it with everyone who needs to believe in miracles today. Subscribe for more incredible true stories of love, loyalty, and the bonds that can never be broken. Comment below. Do you believe in impossible connections? Have you ever experienced something that couldn't be explained? Until next time, honor the heroes in your life, human and animal alike. And remember, love finds a way, always.